RACO Interiors would like to welcome you and thank you for taking time to watch our training video for a Solutions 2 single frame install. The first thing you want to do is remove all your frame parts and inspect for damage or missing parts. Unwrap and lay out the material on the floor in pattern like the frame will be when installed. Find the hardware pack and remove clips and screws. When installing a RACO frame, the first thing you want to check is the rough opening size and if the wall is plumb level and square. You will also want to check the wall thickness and make sure that it is within 1/8 inch of nominal wall size, especially at the corners. Fat walls at the corners can cause the trim to flare and not seat properly with the header trim. Make any field modifications needed for anything found out of tolerance. The first part to install is the header. Since our rough opening is level, we will install tight to wall. If not level, pull the header down 1/4 inch before installing center screw to allow for leveling when installing the hinge and strike. Now make sure header is level and measure from bottom of header to floor and cut hinge jamb to length. Take note the tabs at the top of the frame slip into the slots on the header, so measure your frame length without the tab length considered. Now insert the top of the jamb into the slots of the header, then swing bottom of jamb in and over drywall. If tight fit, lightly tap on jamb without damaging finish of the frame. If frame is really tight over the wall, then use a block of wood on the frame and pound on the wood to avoid damaging the frame. Never hit on the hinge backer plates of the frame. Repeat same procedure with strike jamb. Remember to check the header for level before measuring for the strike jamb length. Next, install corner clips on all 4 corners of the frame, using the 90-degree clips and small screws supplied in the hardware pack. Now you can level your hinge jamb and screw to the wall using drywall screws that are long enough to reach the wall stud. With single layer rock on each side, we recommend a minimum 1 1/4 inch long drywall screw be used. Be sure not to strip the screws when installing. Ensure hinge does not bow in the center before screwing to the wall, or this will cause undue stress on the hinges when hanging the door. Place a screw approximately 3 inches from each end of the frame, and then every 9 to 12 inches apart on both sides of the frame. Please note that on the hinge cutout side of the frame, you need to place a screw just above and below each hinge cutout to avoid any frame movement on the wall. Now set your strike jamb level to hinge jamb and screw to wall same as hinge side. Repeat for both sides of the frame. Note that you must ensure the middle of the strike is set evenly to the hinge side to ensure door will latch properly. The use of the door spreader will help ensure of this, as well as keeping the frames square to each other. Now you are ready to install the trim. Note on the frame trim it is pre-notched at the top of the trim to clear the corner clip, so make sure this is at the top of the trim before cutting trim to length. The verticals go up to the top of the horizontal trim, so measure from bottom of header to the floor and add the width of the header trim to get your cut size. When installing the hinge cutout side of the trim, you need to make sure the hinge cutouts on the trim align with the hinge cutouts on the frame. Using a block of wood and rubber mallet, lightly pound the trim onto the frame. Ensure trim is completely snapped onto the frame and tight down to the drywall. Do not pound directly on the trim with a hammer or mallet, as this can cause denting of the trim. Repeat with strike side and back side of the frame. Once the verticals are on, you can install the horizontal trim tight to the verticals. Note it is always best to install the vertical trim first, and then the horizontal trim. You have now completed your first frame install. If you have not watched our clip install short video, we recommend watching this to help understand proper install of all the RACO clips. Thanks for taking time to learn how to properly install a RACO frame.